So I used to think that my number one priority was always going to be work, but that's not the case. The number one priority has to be yourself, and having breaks and building breaks into your life and into your days is really important. Hello and welcome to Not Your Forever Job, the show that helps you figure out what you want and where you're going in your career and how to make it happen. I'm Hayley Loren, a career coach and award-winning engineer and science presenter. So this week on the show, we are chatting about tools for a strong and healthy mindset to help you thrive, because the whole of April is a stress awareness week and you, my love, deserve to feel great in yourself. So if you want to build your confidence, resilience, self-belief so you can rise up and thrive in your career like the amazing person you are, then this episode is for you, my wonderful friend. If you've listened to some of my other episodes, or if you're a client of mine, shout out to you if you are, then you know that I think positive mindset tools and looking after your mental health and building up your resilience are so important. Now, if you're an analytical person, then you might think, oh, I don't really do this like mindfulness stuff. Then bear with me. It's okay. Don't worry. Because when you're feeling a lack of confidence and when you're kind of in a new challenge, then you need these tools and methods so you can actually fall back on them. And you need ways to be able to actually build yourself up. And if you don't, it's kind of like being in a zombie apocalypse with no weapon and completely naked. I mean, you just wouldn't do that, would you? You would want armor, you would want clothes, and you would be there with your weapon being like, I'm going to frickin' survive. So it is exactly the same thing here. And I'm not talking about building up fake walls and things like that. I'm talking about genuinely every day doing things that help you build your confidence, help you thrive in challenges, and really help you arm yourself so that when you do face challenges and things, then you are ready and you are in a really strong and confident place. So you are, of course, unique. You are a wonderful individual soul. So what works for me will probably be different to you. But what I want to do is I want to go through my top 7 favorite mindset tools. Some of them you may already do, others maybe you've kind of tried but you found haven't worked for you, but maybe it's time to try them again. I would just suggest that you kind of keep an open mind and see if there's anything that you can learn from, because I think having a learning mindset is always good. And if some of them aren't right for you, then maybe it will spark a thought of being like, oh, well, maybe that doesn't work, but maybe this will work for me instead. I mean, people are really different. So it's important to be truthful to yourself and honor yourself in that way. So to kick things off, number 1, and this one is maybe considered a little bit woo-woo. So I'm just going to jump in here. And this is mantras. Or a less woo-woo name for it would just be saying a phrase out loud in the morning. So every morning I say a series of phrases, which is basically mantras. And for me, it feels a bit like a switch in the morning. If I don't do this, then I kind of stay in this groggy, negative state. I don't know if you ever feel that when you wake up in the morning and you've kind of a bit like, oh, I don't really want to go to work. I don't really want to do this. And you're a bit negative. But if I sit down and I just go through my list of mantras, it really helps to ground me and make me feel better. So I'm talking about things like saying I'm confident, I'm brave, I'm strong, I'm resilient. This day is going to be amazing, that amazing things are coming to me, that I'm wanting to spread light and positivity in the world. And it helps to basically write your own. So you can write your own set of mantras or phrases that are really personal to you, that connect with you and the challenges that you're currently facing. So if, for example, I was going to be doing a talk next week that I was really scared about, I would probably add into my mantras that I am preparing enough, I am prepared, I am doing everything in my power to set myself up in the right way, and that on the day I can just trust in myself, I can trust in my future self, And I know that as long as there is one person in that audience who I resonate with and I help, then that is enough, because it is about the audience. It is not about me. So these are the sort of things that I would be saying. And it kind of just spurs you on. You're essentially being your own kind of coach, pumping yourself up for the day, of being like, yeah, this is going to be a great day. And some people find that a bit cheesy, but it really, really, really genuinely works for me. And it also helps to remind me of what's important, because with all of my work, showing up for this podcast, doing everything, the focus isn't on me here. The focus and my whole purpose of doing this is to help people in their careers who are struggling or who want to thrive and get more out of their life. My purpose is you. So, if I remind myself of that every single morning, then that is the driving force behind all of the action that I take. So this is why mantras first thing in the morning, they can completely change your day, believe me. And sometimes I even sit down in the afternoon and I do them if, for instance, I don't know, something's gone on in the morning or I haven't been able to. I mean, I'm not going to exactly wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to say my mantras, but I might say them in the car quietly to myself. I know it sounds a bit weird, but genuinely give it a go. It is really helpful. Okay, so number 2 is writing in a journal. So I've done this my whole life, probably, and I've got stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of books where I've been writing in my journal, even from when I was 4. It's like, hello, my name is Hayley, spelt wrong. But it's kind of soothing. It's a way that you get everything out on paper, because if you're somebody that feels like everything is a bit cluttered and things are a bit messy, then having a journal can really help with that. Now, my journals are not neat and tidy. It's not like I start it being like, dear diary, today I had eggs on toast. Like I used to, actually, when I was really young, I used to do things like that. But now I mainly use it for brainstorming. So when I wake up in the morning, I'll do like a really messy spider diagram. So usually after my mantras, I'll do this because ideas have come to me in the night, or I'll kind of bullet point some fears that I'm facing right now, or things that I'm scared about, or things that I want to work on. And it's a really brilliant way to basically just get everything that's in your mind out of the way, so that then you can focus on the day. And I find that really good. So it's either in the morning or in the evening. And this one will help you just to kind of lift off some of the weight. If you're feeling like there's some weight on you, then that will be really helpful. Okay, so number 3 is exercise and yoga. So keeping active and moving your body and being physical are so important. And if you're in a place, and I definitely felt this before I managed to shift my careers around and take control of my career, I felt like I was stagnating and I felt very stuck and stiff and just meh. I can't describe the words. It's just like bleh. You just feel a bit shit. And the only thing that managed to get me out of that was by moving. And yoga has been a really, really big thing for me in terms of being able to build strength, but also grounding yourself as well. And exercise, obviously, when you do exercise, it releases endorphins, and it's just really, really good for you. And I was never into sports. I'm not a sporty person. I did a little bit of netball and tennis, but I just didn't like it. I would much rather, and this is what I do 15 minutes of HIIT, not every day, but almost every day, intense exercise for 15 to 20 minutes, and that's me done. I'm like, great, that's all I need. But I know that it's building up strength, it's keeping me fit, and afterwards I feel really good. But it's not like you need to go out for an hour's run, or maybe you do, maybe that's your thing. Number 4 is meditating, and this is something that I've been practicing for a few years now. And meditation is a bit of a tricky one, because depending on if you've tried it yourself, it's really hard to kind of voice why it's so good. But essentially, the way that I like to describe it is that it's like a reset for your brain. So when you meditate, it's not about trying to totally clear your thoughts. It's really just about being present and being in the moment. So it's about drawing your attention to now, rather than allowing your mind to unleash its fury and panic and fear on you, which mine can definitely do sometimes. So it's just a way to slow and to breathe and to draw back to kind of yourself and feeling grounded and tuning into your body and tuning into yourself. And I found this really, really powerful. And without meditation, I would, I don't know, be a crazy person, I think, because it's just that reset is just so fundamental now. And before my coaching, I tend to just do a really quick meditation just to clear the mind, because it's so important that when you're speaking to people and when you're connecting with people, that you can really be present with them without your own clutter going on in your mind. And I think we've all been there, you know, when you're having a conversation and you can tell when somebody's not listening to you because they're thinking something else. And this is not what I want anybody to feel when they work with me, because they are the most important person. You are the most important person. And whenever I'm with anybody, I like to listen on a deeper level. And the only way that you can do that is by clearing your mind and clearing your own clutter out of the way. And the way that I personally do that is through meditation. I won't go into it further, but you know, there's always Google if you want to try it. Okay, number 5. This one is going to sound a little bit weird. And number 5 for me is doing nothing. And the reason why this is a mindfulness or a strengthening tool for me is because, you know, if you're a driven person, or if you're somebody that likes to create things and build things, or maybe you're a bit of a perfectionist, or you're constantly feeling like you want to push forward and progress and succeed, that constant movement all the time gets really freaking tiring, and it can wear you down. And it's so important for, you know, people like that, if you are like that, to stop. Because if you don't stop without needing to do anything, then you're just going to kind of wear yourself out. And you're going to lose the creativity, and you're going to lose the flow, and you're going to get ill, and you're going to burn out. So doing nothing can mean lots of different things. So for me, doing nothing, I guess I'm still doing something here. For me, doing nothing is sitting with a cup of tea in my hands, sitting on my sofa, looking out the window and watching this really cute couple of parakeets that kind of pop into my garden sometimes. They're so gorgeous. I'll just sit there and I watch them, drinking my cup of tea, just enjoying the moment. So I guess it's more being in the moment as opposed to doing nothing. Another thing that I do is that at particular times of the day, you might find this in your house, right? Or your flat. At a particular time, the light will come through your windows and it will just shine its rays when it's not cloudy. I mean, it's been really cloudy recently. But there's a moment where you can walk in a room and it's just lit up really beautifully. And it's like, oh, wow, that's really pretty. I like to just enjoy that moment. And I know it might sound a little bit weird, but these really, really simple, small things are so important because they ground you. So it could even be if you've got a pet, it's just being present in the moment with your pet or with your kids or anything. It's just essentially being grateful for the moment and for life in this very moment. Because without that, there isn't anything else. It doesn't really matter whether you have a ton of money or anything else if you can't enjoy the simple things and you can't enjoy your life right now as it is. So this for me is really, really important. Okay, so number 6 is something that I love and it's a passion of mine, which is food. So eating well. And I don't mean always eating healthily, because I believe that food and yummy food and things like pizza and burgers are just so good for the soul. It's like soul food. But eating well is important. Feeding yourself in the right way, not living off rice cakes for a whole entire week, because your brain isn't going to function properly. So understanding your nutrition, understanding your body, all of this is going to help towards having a strong and healthy mindset. And I'm pretty sure it's something that you already know. So I'm definitely preaching to the choir here on this. For me, I love taking enjoyment out of cooking. and eating well. But I tend to, because I'm so busy during the week, I find it really difficult and actually a little bit stressful to cook during the week. So I tend to batch cook everything on a Sunday. So Matt and I will take it in turn. So I'll batch cook and do like a massive casserole on a Sunday, and then I'll freeze that for 2 days in the week. But I know then that the food that I'm eating and the food that Matt is eating is healthy and it's yummy and it's soulful. So this is why eating well is just really important. Number 7, we have reached the last one. And this one is a fun one. I think you're definitely going to like this. And this is having regular breaks. Building breaks into your plans and into your life. So this is kind of similar to the whole doing nothing thing, but in this way, the breaks are, you could be doing something. So it's bringing joy and fun and a bit of kind of calm into your life. Because if you are a driven person, or if you're somebody that's very busy and on the go all of the time, you can forget to have lunch, you can forget to go for a walk, you can forget to do exercise. And I used to do this all the time because I used to think that my number one priority was always going to be work. But that's not the case. The number one priority has to be yourself, and having breaks and building breaks into your life and into your days is really important for your mindset. And without that, you know, if you don't have breaks, then everything will feel a lot. Everything will just build up on you. And then you'll go into meetings and presentations and you just feel kind of weighed down and you're not going to perform your best. So having regular breaks and rest and building this into your life is so important to build confidence and, you know, feeling really good in yourself as well. And I do at least one of these. Probably I pretty much do all of these every day. And this helps me to feel kind of grounded, and I don't spend a whole hour necessarily doing it, but I'll definitely, when I can, I'll do my mantras, and I'll do some yoga, maybe 20 minutes of yoga or something like that, or I finish the day with yoga. I just try and incorporate it and interlace all of these things into my life, and it becomes part of your way of life and your lifestyle then, rather than like rushing and pushing constantly and it being like this, which is how I used to live my life and why I used to burn out and get ill all the time. As opposed to doing this, everything just kind of flows a bit better and you have more space. I think space is the right word for it, actually, because you quickly realize that, you know, there is space to enjoy your days, even during the week. And there are small moments wherever you are that you can find joy and peace and relaxation. And all of these are really key. And if you couple these healthy mindsets with kind of effective planning, I've got an episode on that, by the way, episode 16, where I go through 5 effective planning tips. If you couple it with that, then really you can start having a very kind of relaxed approach to life, and it feels good and you feel your best all of the time, and you can show up to things in the right way, in the right frame of mind. So looking after yourself in this way is really key. So as you know, I love actions. So for your action this week, I want you to choose one healthy mindset tool and do this every single day for 1 week and just see how it makes you feel. You can give journaling a go. You could give, maybe you have like a nutritious smoothie every single day, or you could be doing some mindset tools. Really just pick one and go with it and see how it makes you feel. And you can kind of trial all of these over the course of the next few weeks. And as always, make sure you message me what your action is. So my Twitter and Instagram handles are @theHayleyLoren. And I really want to help you stay accountable for this. So if you message me your one action, I will get back to you. And if you need any more help, I've got a couple of episode recommendations for you. So there's episode 18, which is all about building confidence through challenges. Episode 12, which gives 1 quick confidence tool and episode 2, which is how to find fulfillment and purpose. And if you're watching on YouTube, then head over to my website to watch those. You can also sign up for my weekly career boost, which is a weekly email from me, which just gives positive vibes and tips and inspiration for your career. And I have a free downloadable career clarity starter guide. So if you're in a place where you kind of want to figure things out in your career, then this is going to be a really good start for you. And you can get all of this just by heading to my website, which is www.hayleyloren.com/coaching. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I will speak to you next time.